Welcome to HOTSPOT Update, your go-to source for quick and accurate updates on the world's hottest current events. If you're looking for a clear and objective perspective, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's topic.
More than 2 months after being shot during a campaign event on August 11th local time, Miguel Uribe Turbay, a Colombian senator and a potential presidential candidate, passed away at the age of 39. According to The Guardian, Uribe sustained severe injuries in the June attack and underwent intensive treatment in the hospital. By mid-July, his condition had shown signs of improvement, and he began entering the rehabilitation phase. However, on August 9th, the hospital announced that his health had deteriorated again, and he passed away 2 days later. Uribe's case is considered one of the most serious attacks on a politician in Colombia in recent decades.
The Santa Fe Foundation of Bogotá informs us that Senator Miguel Uribe Turbay passed away at 1:56 a.m. today. The team in charge of Mr. Uribe Turbay's care across all areas of the institution worked tirelessly for more than 2 months since his admission with serious injuries. Despite all efforts, this is a sad outcome for which we express our solidarity with the entire Uribe Turbay family.
All of us Colombians are distraught. We feel deeply hurt. We want to tell his family, his wife, his children, and their families to be strong, that all of Colombia will unite in this cause. We want this not to be in vain, and that's why we ask all Colombians to join us so that his death and passing will not be in vain.
On August 13th, hundreds of people gathered at Bogotá Cathedral to bid farewell to Miguel Uribe Turbay. Uribe's family, including his wife and young children, were also present at the ceremony.
There is no other politician or human being like you. Colombia is deprived today of a superior, exceptional being who would undoubtedly have changed the history of Colombia forever. Our love and the love we feel for our son and daughters transcend this earthly plane. Miguel, I will love you every day of my life until the moment I meet you in heaven. I will fulfill my promise to give Alejandro and the girls a life full of love and happiness, without hatred and without grudges. Miguel didn't want what he had to live through when he was 4 years old to be repeated. And today, my beloved son Alejandro is living through the same thing. That same past that Miguel didn't want to return, and today strikes our family in the crudest and cruelest way. Breaking up a family, taking a father from his son, a husband from his wife, a father from his children, is the greatest act of evil that can ever exist. It cannot happen again.
34 years ago, the war took away who was my wife, Diana Turbay. I had to tell a child of just 4 years with all the pain in my soul, the horrendous news of his mother's murder. In this same holy cathedral, I carried in one arm Miguel and in the other Diana's coffin. Today, 34 years later, this absurd violence also takes away from me that same child who became a good man, a loving husband, an exemplary father, and an honorable and brave leader, Miguel Uribe Turbay.
Esposo amoroso, padre ejemplar y líder honrado y valiente Miguel Uribe Turbay.
Like our family, millions of compatriots will have to carry this deep pain for the rest of our lives. This war has culprits and responsibility. We know it. We have no doubt where the violence comes from. We have no doubt who promotes it. We have no doubt who allows it. We have to stand up to this and say no more, no more, no more.
¿Quién la permite? Tenemos que plantar cara a esto y decir no más, no más, no más.
On August 12th, a Colombian flag was flown at half-mast outside the National Congress in Bogotá as long lines of citizens gathered to pay their respects to Senator and presidential candidate Miguel Uribe. During the memorial, many lined up to say their farewells, some unable to hide their emotions and expressing deep sorrow before his casket. Some attendees also voiced frustration with the government's handling of violence and its impact on the political opposition. Speaking at the ceremony, Uribe's wife, Claudia Tarazona, described him as a wonderful man who loved music, chess, and his family, while also nurturing a dream of peace and unity in Colombia. She urged Colombians to reject violence and vengeance, stating that to honor her husband, our hearts should only hold love.
We have lost a wonderful man. For us, he was the one who sang, who played chess, who played the piano, who composed songs, who dedicated his life with love and devotion to Alejandro, my daughters, and me. For the country, we have lost a wonderful man who dreamed of peace and unity in Colombia, who dreamed of a country where no child would repeat the history that his son is repeating today. Breaking up a family is the most horrible act of violence that can ever be committed. We know that in Miguel's heart, his fight and what he would want for all of us Colombians is unity, peace, and love. I reject any act of violence or revenge for Miguel's death, because to honor him, there should only be love in our hearts. That's what was in Miguel's heart, only love. May justice be done, because justice strengthens democracy. When human beings are held accountable for their actions, it makes for a just country. And there must be justice, not only for Miguel, but for all of Colombia, which deserves to live in peace. And remember, in the hearts of those of us who loved Miguel, we knew him and received his legacy. There must only be unity, peace, and love. Thank you very much.
I think they cannot kill people's dreams, that speaking and having our opinions should never be cut short by a bullet. There is pain in our country. We have children, and one wonders what will happen to them tomorrow, when just thinking differently could get us killed. Violence is out of control, and I believe nothing is being done at this moment to address these issues. Miguel Uribe was a good leader.
Today, I want to thank Miguel for his teachings, for his strength, for the example he left us. And I know he is in heaven with God, with his mother and his grandmother. That's what I wanted to tell Miguel today. It's a hard news, of course, because God is the owner of life. Nobody has the right to end our life, our dreams, not just his, but of an entire country. We don't know what the future of the country will be like. We can only ask God, because unfortunately, we are in a very violent country, and it saddens us that this government has done nothing for the candidates. We cannot have opposition. It's very sad and disconcerting to know all this. We cannot speak. Soon they will even censor us.
We cannot allow such delicate and complicated events as those that occurred with our friend Miguel Uribe to continue happening in this country. Truly, all I can say on this first day is that with deep sorrow and sadness, I wish Miguel Uribe peace in his grave. The funeral chapel is now officially open. Thank you very much.
Queda oficialmente instalada la cámara ardiente. Muchas gracias.
Colombian President Gustavo Petro expressed his condolences for the passing of Senator and presidential candidate Miguel Uribe in a lengthy post on the social media platform X, while also calling for an expedited investigation and condemning the incident. The attack is considered the most severe act of political violence in about 2 decades, evoking memories of the turbulent 1980s and 1990s when 4 presidential candidates were assassinated in separate attacks allegedly carried out by drug cartels. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also condemned the attack and called for justice following the news of Uribe's passing. Rubio expressed, "The United States will stand with the Uribe family and the people of Colombia," while demanding that those involved be held accountable under the law. It is reported that 3 individuals connected to the attack have been arrested by authorities. Miguel Uribe Turbay is the grandson of former President Julio César Turbay Ayala. His passing has deepened the tragedy of his family. His mother, journalist Diana Turbay, was also killed in 1991 during a failed rescue operation after being kidnapped by the Medellin cartel led by drug lord Pablo Escobar. Uribe was a potential candidate of the Centro Democrático Party for next year's presidential election in Colombia. During his campaign, he focused strongly on law and order, economic stability, and support for the business community. For a long time, he had warned that violence was returning to Colombia.